Over the years, that series has tackled very real subjects. Most recently, family patriarch Zeke Braverman's battle with heart disease. What you might not know is that heart disease is one of the most common and by far the most expensive illness in America. One of the biggest costs, people having to go into the hospital again and again. Nationally, 1 in 4 patients will be readmitted to a hospital within a month of their first diagnosis. But here in Austin, one hospital has rates half the national average. How? Well, as KXAN's David Scott explains, it took some imagination.
Gene Brooks needed a heart transplant. An internal pump kept him alive 18 months while he waited. He quickly burned through $1 million in insurance coverage the first year. Total heart care cost, $2.5 million.
The numbers are staggering. I would just guess that there are people out there who didn't have the coverage. I was lucky.
When Seton and other hospitals learned 2 years ago they had to cut costs, they had a simple reaction.
As always, fear, I'm sure. And then we got on the problem and started devising plans for how we could reduce costs.
The biggest cost was hospital readmissions. Gene had 8 to 10 of those. Seton's prescription, swift follow-up appointments.
Patients may go home and not get their medications filled. They may not have any money to get their medications. They may not have the money to come back and see you. By following up with them within 72 hours, you don't allow things to get out of control.
They cut readmissions to half the national average. Listen to your doctor. Take your meds, obey restrictions on diet and activity. Gene Brooks did, and celebrated his second Christmas with a new heart and all the kids.
I had to consistently pinch myself. Can't put a dollar on it.
David Scott, KXAN News.
The fact is, heart disease is the #1 killer in America. 1/4 of Americans will die from it. So knowing these signs early are key. Things like weight gain and bloating around the stomach, swelling of your legs and ankles, of course, shortness of breath, fatigue, and of course, chest pain.